First of all, about 3 days later, I was on YouTube, and my face, you pronouncing my name, and everything was 13. This man said 3,000 people looked at him. 13,000 something views.
If a Councilman Lowry wants to go down in history as the most censored member in this city has ever seen, then let him own that legacy. Let him have it.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This video is going to cover the La Marque, Texas City Council meeting that took place on May 12th, 2025. First, we're going to be looking at one of City Councilman Joseph Lowry's supporters' public comment. His name is Richard Holcomb, and he continues to make a fool out of himself at these meetings and lying through his teeth. He signed up to speak at this meeting and then started freaking out and causing a scene when the mayor called his name, saying he didn't want to be on the internet again and complaining about my video. Let's take a look at that real quick, and then I'm going to break down all of his foolishness and lies, and then we'll check out some of the other public comments that I found interesting.
Richard.
Yes, sir. I'll speak from back here.
No, we need you to come to the. We need you to.
And I was all over the internet.
Mr. Holcomb, Mr. Holcomb, Mr. Holcomb, listen to me. I'm the presider.
Yes, sir.
We need you at the podium. You don't have to tell me your last name. It is a request.
To the whole internet, sir.
Because I'm being respectful. You've been up here several times. I'm not going to do this with you. If you want to speak, if you want to speak, Mr. Holcomb, if you want to speak, you can come to the podium. If you do not want to speak, you can have a seat. Thank you. You may proceed. Give him 3 minutes, please, Ms. Nance. Go ahead, Mr. Holcomb.
Yes, sir. The last meeting I was at, first of all, about 3 days later, I was on YouTube, and my face, you pronouncing my name, and everything was 13. This man said 3,000 people looked at him. 13,000 something views. I'm not trying to be an internet personality. I'm trying to talk as a citizen, and this was supposed to be for the citizens of La Marque, not citizens of every bit. If y'all can't deal with the citizens of La Marque, y'all having people come from other cities and just trying to stir up the pot. And this is this public comment is supposed to be about citizens. But when I come, the last meeting 2 weeks ago, when I come up here and spoke to you, that's why I didn't give my address. That's why I didn't even give my last name. Because at quarter till midnight, 11:45, I had about 14 rapid shots fired very close to my house. The La Marque Police Department was out there for 2 hours picking up shell casings, multiple shell casings on the street close to my house. Nobody, as everybody says, nobody knows. It wasn't associated with me going up here and speaking and giving my address and giving the location of my house. But you can't convince me any different. 2 days later, I'm on the YouTube looking up something to fix my truck with, and there I am, talking all over the internet, and he's posting up liar. This man don't know what he's talking about. I am not a liar. I believe in standing up for my rights. And you told me I don't know nothing about the Constitution. Well, I think there's something in the Constitution that says that y'all shouldn't be able to spread people's name and addresses and everything in a public forum when you're going to shut the people down. Nobody's going to come up here and speak.
So anybody who's been paying attention to these meetings, and especially the ones that I've been attending and speaking at, all know that I am extremely against saying your name and your address before your public comment. I have addressed it. I'm going to show a couple of clips because it is your Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your person's places and things and your address. And so for this guy to try to blame me because he's dumb enough to give up his Fourth Amendment right, the mayor has made it clear you don't have to. We're asking you for your name and your address. We're not saying you have to give it. And so for this guy to try to blame it on me in my videos, when you can see in my video that I cut his address out of the video, his address is still on the city's video, but I cut it out of my video. Let's take a look at those clips.
Welcome. Name and address for the record, please.
I put my name on that piece of paper. I'm not gonna say my address because you're live on the internet. I'm live on the internet and it's a violation of my constitutional right, Fourth Amendment.
Proceed. Welcome, Robert.
Hey.
Name and address for the record. I already know. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Are you wishing to speak?
Yes, this is Harvey Freebird. How y'all doing?
All right. How are you doing, Mr. Harvey?
Pretty good. I couldn't make it there today. I'm not going to give you my address. You know, I never give you my address.
I do.
I don't understand. I don't understand why you ask people to give up their Fourth Amendment right. To me, it serves no purpose other than to intimidate people to speak. And when you have a crazy nutcase like Joseph Lowry, who is known to harass people online if he doesn't agree with, like posting people's address, mailing stuff to people's house, taking photos of their house and sending it to them. He's done all these things to me. So I would like to see it stop, and I would like to see everyone stop giving their address. You're asking them to give it up. You're not telling them they have to. It's their Fourth Amendment right not to give their address.
And that's not right. It's supposed to be about citizens complaining to y'all about the problems they have in this city. And Mayhem Park ain't fixed yet. And that's all what I come up to complain about last time. But after I listened to all these people that don't even live around here, give a certain council member a hard time, it's not right, sir.
And one more thing. For this guy, Richard, to cause this big scene, showed up, signed up to speak, and then caused a big scene in front of everybody because his public comment was all over the internet when he knew before he gave that public comment that these videos have been being posted on the internet, and I have been covering these city council meetings every week. And here is his previous public comment that proves that he knew that I've been posting these videos because he mentioned my name. And then when I post his recent public comment after he addressed me during his public comment, he's going to show up there and throw this fit and act like a little baby in front of the whole world. Let's take a look at what he said about me before he gave the public comment that we just watched.
But what I hate is, first of all, you always make the announcement, address the council as a whole, not to belittle nobody up there on that dais. I've seen you break that 3 times tonight. And I have a feeling it's all because they're talking to my councilman, Mr. Lowry. The gentleman that's an internet, YouTube personality or whatever, I've sat right here and watched that man. I sit right back there and watched that man right here tell that man right there on that diocese that that man's wife was over at his house trying to get dates with him. And you didn't shut it down. Just like he just talked about now. He's not a citizen. This is for the citizens of Lamarck. You've got people from Texas City and all over coming over. This needs to be about city of Lamarck's business. And fighting, he said, she said, he did this, she did this. That don't make nothing to me. But when you sit right there and don't mute somebody talking bad about the man, because you've always said, address us as a council. And you let people get up here and call him out by name. And that's flat wrong. If you won't let them do it to nobody else, you shouldn't let them do it to him. Thank you.
You know there will be a point of information. Mr. Holcomb, I'm coming back with a point of information.
I'm ready to hear it.
Do you understand the Constitution?
I
What
hope
is
so.
do you understand that we all have free speech?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that these are rules that we're asking you to follow?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that this does not trump the Constitution? Do you understand that ultimately people can say what they want in 3 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're straight. Thank you.
So the moral of the story is, if you don't want to end up on the Harvey Freebird YouTube channel, don't show up for public comments and say my name while you're giving your public comments. Don't lie about me And don't say dumb things about Councilman Lowry being a good councilman. I mean, come on, man. Everybody knows that guy's garbage. So keep my name out of your mouth. Stop lying. Stop licking Councilman Lowry's boots. And you won't be on my channel anymore, because everybody knows you've given many, many public comments before. But until you did those 3 things all at once, you never ended up on my channel. So that's the moral of the story.
We have a councilman who was awarded $50,000 by the Economic Development Corporation for COVID emergency business grants. And I'm not sure if y'all knew then, but I know y'all know now that he does not have a legitimate business in Lamarck, let alone one that qualifies for a grant. This issue has been quietly shuffled between the EDC, the council, Lamarck PD, the city managers, and attorneys, and even the DA's office. And yet this council person still sits here in his position, shielded by privilege and protected by a system that refuses to hold him accountable. It is very suspect that the EDC attorney is the father of the person running the EDC. That's just a bad look. It's a perfect example of systematic. I support an audit of all recipients who received the maximum amount available under the grant, and I also support a criminal investigation of any applicant that was fraudulently submitted. Paying the funds back is only part of the solution. I am at a loss as to why this isn't as simple as Lamarck Police Chief Aragon opening up an investigation against the crime. Lamarck PD has no problem coordinating with the DA to charge some people, often with little to no evidence, with only allegations, then pushing the blame to the county. Yet in other cases, credible complaints aren't even being referred to the DA at all. I'm officially asking the council to act, to direct the chief of police to open an investigation into the fraudulently submitted applications and pursue all applicable crimes committed. I'm also asking for an update of this investigation at each regularly scheduled council meeting until this investigation is completed, to prevent further attempts to sweep this under the rug. And let me be clear, as the retaliation against me by this council person for speaking out as a private citizen continues, I hope the rest of the council will stand with me as a private citizen. I hope, let's see, I lost my place. I hope the rest of this council will stand with me. No private citizen should have to beg for a censure. If a Councilman Lowry wants to go down in history as the most censored member in this city has ever seen, then let him own that legacy. Let him have it. Let the history reflect what he's doing to this community and surrounding communities. I need y'all to do what they elected y'all to do. So thank you for your time, and I will see y'all at the next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Mack.
Okay.
If we're assessing volunteer background checks on appointed volunteers, then we should also assess it on prospective council members. And so long as we're speaking to that, I think that the public, the community won't have a problem with us moving forward with this.
And could we add to that residency as well? Make sure people actually live in the city when they, and maintain residency per charter?
I think that we're speaking about, on the agenda, Mr. Lowry, we're not responding in any retaliatory fashion. We're speaking about volunteer background checks. That's what the discussion is about. And it's not about any of us. It's about a policy that will move the city of Lamarck forward. And I think that if we stop taking things personally, we can see that. So that's what we're talking about, a policy that'll move the city of Lamarck forward. You still committed to that,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah.
Very good. Do we need a motion? I will entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve this
Approve
draft
this.
form.
Without Santa Fe, right?
Yeah, without Santa Fe. Yeah, without Santa Fe. And I thank Santa Fe for the work.
Thank you, Santa Fe, for the work, product. Mayor Pro Tem has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. Does anybody else have any meaningful discussion on this item?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Ms. Yancey, I'm sorry.
Real quick, for the felony portion, Councilman Compion, is there a, is it, you can't be a felon at all, or are we saying the last 10 years? Or are we saying the last 15 years? I don't see that on here.
If it's a disclosure, if you've been convicted of the felony, now, we can go ahead and, I didn't purposely include that language to say that you're not permitted to serve. We might add that one line that says, that doesn't, except for the registered sex offender item. That one I'm pretty standard on, but
Yeah.
with regard to the other,
But you
it's
just
not
said you have to
necessarily a
disclose it.
disqualifying, but just disclose it, yes,
Disclose it.
ma'am.
Okay, so we're talking, because some people have called me on this, right? And so
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we're saying you just have to disclose
Yes,
it
that's
if you
right.
have ever been, and then we'll make the decision.
Yes, that's right.
Because it may be a nonviolent felony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can't make a determination on a felony in any way other than if that felony was otherwise summarily discharged by a person in position to do that, which would be, I would assume, the governor of the state of Texas or wherever you come from.
But this check, so I'm clear,
Yeah.
is just asking that they have to, but we're requesting that they disclose.
Disclose it, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So what happens if they do have one? Then you have to come before the council?
Well, no, well, let's back up. The issue is, all this is, if we look at it, is the idea that if it started with, we have people on boards and commissions that may be sex offenders, not by any rumor or any insinuation, but just knowledge. If you don't have a background check, and there are people that are volunteering, there may be some folks that slip through the cracks. That's just common sense. So this background check, this entire background check conversation has lasted really long, but let's just kind of encapsulate it. It's talking about folks that are giving permission for backgrounds to be ran on them as they volunteer. Whether you are a Parks Board member, a KLMBC member, whomever you are, economic development, it's just giving permission for backgrounds to be ran on those persons that will be volunteering. Why? On boards and commissions, primarily so that we don't allow sex offenders around children. Because what does that do? That puts the city of Lamarck in potential liability. So this whole thing started with making sure that we don't have people around our children that we have appointed to boards that shouldn't be around our children. Our volunteer base, those that are in appointed positions, said, well, if you're going to ask us to submit to a background check, then the council should submit to a background check. Why? For the same reason. This has nothing to do with who has a felony or who don't have a felony. I don't know, we all get our feelings hurt about that, but this has nothing to do, unless you're pulling that out and you're taking it personal. But when you don't do that, you'll realize all we're doing is asking people to submit to a background check so that we can identify if you are allowed to be around children or not. If you have a felony or if you don't have a felony has no bearing on this background check, because if you're running for office, then the laws of the great state of Texas will dictate how that goes and how that plays out. So let's not take this personal and have a food fight. And let's make sure we're doing the people's business.
Mayor, just one quick
Go ahead,
item.
Joe.
I have an amendment that I'm going to
Yes, sir.
propose. add just one line to be clear on this
Okay.
point. Registered sex offenders are not permitted to serve on a board or commission. And that's just the last item there, is the amendment that I'm adding to this.
I will take that as a friendly amendment. Ms. Nance, how does that need to?
I just want to read what I have to make sure that I have it correctly.
Time's up.
My- it says that Mayor Pro Tem made a motion to approve the new application format with typographical corrections and the inclusion of the statement, registered sex offenders are not permitted to serve on boards, commissions, or committees. Is that accurate? Okay, now we're good.
So can we take that all in one whop? Is that okay with you? Is that okay with you, Gus?
Yes, you didn't vote the first time, so we're good.
So we do have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to, even though I seconded it, I think that until we do a charter amendment and do a background check on our council for not, if you're already sitting here, you pretty much grandfathered, but the next election cycle, you know, they would have to submit for some form of background check, just like the boards and commission would.
So you would like to start with council?
Yes.
So we can, if we can delay this, Gus, until after the next election, is that what you're asking us to do? If we pass it tonight, can we put a start date?
Yeah, if y'all want to talk about a charter amendment, I would say make a note and tell us about that, and we'll put it on the agenda, and we can go through that. Does
Well,
that?
it'll be with the ordinance review / charter review committee, so it will.
Okay.
May I?
Yeah.
Mr. Ross, I don't think they're tied to each other. I think they're mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Right? I think we can deal with this on the boards and commissions with the understanding that we're going to, in fact, upgrade the qualifications on our running for office, if you wish to run for office.
I will take that, yeah,
You good?
I'll take that, yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we certainly want to thank Mayor Pro Tem for his work on this issue. Sure staff would like to thank him as well. Anything we can do to volunteer to cut down man hours, I'm sure is appreciated with our paid staff. Let's call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Again, Ms. Nance, this is a 4-0 vote.